The moment the news broke, a hush fell over Washington like a storm cloud creeping over the city. Donald Trump, the man who has dominated headlines and fractured the political establishment, has just made a sudden move that no one, not Democrats, not Republicans, not the media, saw coming. For weeks, insiders had whispered about the tension in the corridors of power, about late-night meetings and urgent phone calls, but nothing could have prepared the Capitol for what unfolded today. The decision, deliberate and audacious, has thrown the political machinery into chaos, and the implications are far-reaching, touching every corner of government, finance, and public life. Those who thought they had him figured out, who believed they could anticipate his every step, are now scrambling to respond, and the ripple effects are already visible from the White House to local government offices across the country. In one fell swoop, Trump has once again reminded the nation that the rules are different when he is in motion, that the traditional playbook does not apply, and that those who underestimate him do so at their own peril. The early reports are fragmentary, but they point to a highly coordinated action that blends strategy, leverage, and timing in a way that only Trump could execute. Every advisor, every official, every reporter watching the unfolding drama can feel the tension rising, the pressure building, the unspoken understanding that this is a turning point. The stakes are enormous. The decisions made in the next few hours could redefine political alliances, force legislative recalibrations, and shift the narrative in Washington in ways that will be felt for months, possibly years, to come. Across the nation, citizens are beginning to absorb the gravity of the situation. Conversations in homes, offices, and social media threads are buzzing with speculation, fear, and awe. How did he pull it off? What does this mean for the coming months? Who stands to gain, and who is caught flat-footed? Analysts are scrambling to piece together the sequence of events, but the picture remains incomplete. What is clear is that Trump has engineered a move with precision, leveraging timing and circumstance to maximize impact. It is a blend of political acumen, psychological insight, and raw instinct, a signature approach that has made him both revered and reviled. The Washington insiders, who thought they were in control, are now forced to confront a reality in which Trump dictates the tempo, sets the terms, and reshapes the landscape before anyone else can react. In boardrooms, newsrooms, and political strategy centers across the country, the same question is on everyone's lips: what does Trump want next? Every scenario, every potential response, every contingency plan is now being recalculated in real time, and the pressure is on those in power to act, respond, and anticipate. Social media, of course, is ablaze. Clips of early statements, snippets of commentary, and explosive speculation are circulating faster than any official news release. The public, hungry for insight, analysis, and confirmation, is reacting in waves, sharing, debating, and forming opinions within minutes of the initial reports. Trump's move has transformed the narrative instantly, dominating every feed, every headline, every discussion. For his supporters, there is exhilaration and validation, a sense that their champion is once again ahead of the curve, forcing the establishment to play catch-up. For his detractors, there is frustration and disbelief, a realization that no matter the criticism, the man at the center of the storm still commands the stage and controls the momentum. Political commentators are rushing to parse the implications. Former officials, analysts, and strategists are weighing in with their interpretations. But even among the experts, there is no consensus, only recognition of the audacity, timing, and impact of Trump's maneuver. Every element seems calculated: the optics, the timing, the messaging. Nothing is accidental, and everything is designed to force a reaction, to assert control, to reassert dominance in a political landscape that often underestimates him. Meanwhile, the media is caught in a frenzy. Networks scramble to verify sources, fact-check claims, and frame the narrative. Headlines flash urgency, breaking alerts interrupt scheduled programming, and on-air personalities deliver their assessments with heightened intensity, trying to convey the gravity of the situation to viewers at home. Yet even with all the coverage, the true scope of Trump's move is only partially visible. Behind closed doors, deals are being reconsidered, alliances reevaluated, and strategies rewritten. Political careers hang in the balance, and the consequences of inaction, misjudgment, or delay are immense. In the streets, in households, and online communities, discussions are more than speculation. They are reflections of a nation grappling with the suddenness, scale, and audacity of Trump's action. People are asking, what does this mean for our leaders, for policy, for the election, for the future? The questions are endless, the answers few. But one thing is undeniable: Donald Trump has once again demonstrated his ability to disrupt, dominate, and dictate the terms of the political conversation in America. The consequences will unfold over hours, days, and weeks, and the country will be watching, waiting, and reacting as events continue to develop in real time. As the day unfolds, The reverberations of Trump's move continue to shake every corner of the Capitol. Lawmakers are huddled in tense conversations. Aides are rushing through hallways with urgent messages. And the normally predictable rhythms of government are now disrupted. Every press conference, every public statement, every social media post is being scrutinized for hidden meaning, for strategy, for clues to what comes next. Analysts and insiders alike are piecing together fragments of information, trying to construct a coherent narrative from the chaos. But the truth is that Trump has engineered confusion as much as clarity. It is deliberate, calculated, and masterful. Observers note that his timing could not be more precise, striking when political tensions are already high, when public attention is at a peak, and when the media is primed to amplify every word, every gesture, every decision. There is a psychological brilliance in this approach. Trump understands not only the mechanics of power but also the optics, the perceptions, the emotions of every stakeholder. He is simultaneously directing action and narrative, creating pressure on opponents while energizing supporters, while keeping the broader public engaged and uncertain. The implications for policy are already evident. Decisions made in response to this sudden maneuver will have consequences for legislation, for regulation, for enforcement, and for the balance of power. Offices that thought they were prepared are now forced to adapt, often improvising under immense pressure. The speed and decisiveness of Trump's action have exposed vulnerabilities in systems that are otherwise rigid and procedural, demonstrating that momentum and initiative remain powerful weapons in the hands of a leader who understands them intimately. Supporters of Trump are celebrating, sharing clips, comments, and analysis across platforms, drawing attention to every detail that confirms their belief in his strategic genius. Their excitement is palpable, a mix of admiration, anticipation, and validation, as they watch him move with precision and authority. Critics, on the other hand, are scrambling to respond, issuing statements that attempt to reinterpret or minimize the impact. But the momentum is clearly with Trump. Even those who wish to downplay the significance of his move must contend with the visible disruption and the undeniable control he has asserted. Every advisor, every journalist, every political figure is now reacting in real time, attempting to match the pace set by Trump, but few can keep up. The ripple effect is spreading beyond Washington. State governments, regulatory agencies, and corporate entities are all being forced to reassess, reconsider, and react. Markets watch nervously, analysts recalibrate forecasts, and the public watches with a mixture of apprehension and fascination. The scale of this sudden action ensures that it will dominate news cycles, social discussions, and strategic planning sessions for days to come. Yet even amidst the immediacy, the larger picture emerges. Trump's move is not merely reactive. It is proactive, offensive, and deeply strategic. It is designed to reshape perceptions, to establish leverage, and to assert dominance in a landscape where many assumed he could no longer surprise. Observers note the psychological warfare at play. Opponents are destabilized, supporters are energized, and the undecided public is captivated. Every element seems choreographed to achieve maximum effect. The audacity of the action, the timing, the targeting, and the communication all reflect a leader who understands power in both its tangible and symbolic dimensions. Inside Washington, the usual balance of influence has shifted. Conversations once conducted behind closed doors are now happening in public, under the glare of media attention and social scrutiny. Policy debates are infused with urgency and tension, as everyone reacts not just to the action itself but to its broader implications. Analysts who previously dismissed Trump's influence are reconsidering, acknowledging the ingenuity, timing, and boldness of the maneuver. There is a growing recognition that this is not a minor blip or a fleeting headline, but a calculated assertion of authority with long-term implications. The public response mirrors this dynamic. Social media is flooded with commentary, speculation, and debate, creating a constant feedback loop that amplifies the significance of every development. Memes, clips, and analyses spread rapidly, drawing attention to nuances, interpretations, and hypothetical consequences. Supporters frame the move as decisive, visionary, and necessary, while critics frame it as reckless, destabilizing, and alarming. The intensity is heightened because Trump's action touches multiple spheres simultaneously: legal, political, social, and even economic. Markets react, pundits analyze, officials adjust, and citizens discuss, all within hours of the initial revelation. The speed and reach of the impact are unparalleled, a testament to the effectiveness of the strategy employed. In every corner of the political ecosystem, the message is clear: Trump has set the agenda, established the tempo, and forced a reaction. No one can ignore the move, no one can fully predict the consequences, and no one can undercut the momentum he has generated. In essence, the sudden action has rewritten the playbook, forcing Washington and the nation to adapt, react, and acknowledge the continuing influence of a leader who remains both unpredictable and commanding. The fallout will continue to evolve as decisions are implemented, responses are formulated, and strategic countermeasures are deployed. But one thing is certain: the landscape has shifted, and Trump's authority and influence are at the center of the storm. As the nation watches, the consequences of Trump's sudden move are beginning to manifest in ways that will shape the political and social climate for months to come. Offices that once operated under assumptions of stability now confront uncertainty and unpredictability. Every political calculation must be reconsidered in light of his decisive action. Allies and opponents alike are reassessing their positions, trying to determine how best to respond to a leader who has once again proven capable of outmaneuvering the traditional centers of power. In media circles, the coverage is relentless, with breaking updates, live analyses, and expert commentary filling every screen. Every word, gesture, and facial expression is examined for hidden meaning, for clues to future strategy, and for signs of what comes next. Trump's move has forced a convergence of attention, drawing together political strategists, journalists, analysts, and the public into a singular focus on the implications of his action. The intensity of the moment creates a feedback loop. The more people watch, analyze, and react, the more amplified the impact becomes, reinforcing the perception of urgency, significance, and strategic brilliance. Public reactions are similarly intense. Social media feeds are dominated by discussions, debates, and analyses. Supporters praise the decisiveness and foresight displayed, framing the action as a masterstroke that demonstrates leadership, vision, and authority. Critics attempt to critique and downplay the significance, but the speed and scope of the impact make it difficult to contain the narrative. The psychological effect on the political establishment is profound. Individuals and institutions accustomed to controlling the tempo are now on the defensive, adjusting strategies, recalibrating positions, and reconsidering alliances. Every delay, hesitation, or miscalculation could carry substantial consequences, further underscoring the effectiveness of Trump's timing and execution. Analysts note that the move was not impulsive but meticulously planned, with multiple contingencies considered, and the potential for maximal disruption leveraged at every step. In essence, it is a display of both political acumen and tactical foresight. The economic and policy ramifications are also emerging. Markets and regulatory environments respond to the signals sent by this sudden action, with immediate adjustments and recalibrations reflecting the perceived impact on stability, authority, and future governance. Companies, investors, and policymakers are all interpreting the implications, adjusting decisions and strategies in response. Beyond the immediate mechanics, there is a symbolic impact that cannot be overstated. Trump's action conveys a message to the nation. Leadership is active, assertive, and capable of shaping outcomes against entrenched systems. It reinforces his position as a central figure in political discourse, commanding attention, setting agendas, and influencing public perception in ways that resonate beyond immediate policy or procedural implications. The social dimension is equally critical. Citizens across the country are engaging in conversations about authority, power, and the trajectory of national governance. Public sentiment is shaped not only by the content of the action itself, but by the perception of competence, decisiveness, and strategic mastery. Every statement, social media post, and media appearance adds layers to the unfolding narrative, reinforcing the perception that Trump remains a dominant force in American politics. Observers are struck by the interplay between action and perception. Trump's ability to simultaneously execute decisive measures and shape the narrative around those measures demonstrates a sophisticated understanding of power dynamics, media influence, and public psychology. The result is a complex, multidimensional impact that affects political, social, and economic spheres simultaneously. In Congress, reactions are swift and varied. Some lawmakers seek to adapt, negotiate, or counteract. Others are caught off guard, struggling to formulate responses within compressed timelines. The pressure on leadership is intense, as traditional protocols are challenged by the immediacy and magnitude of the developments. The overall effect is a landscape in flux where power, perception, and strategy converge. Washington is responding, the nation is watching, and the implications continue to unfold in real time. Trump has effectively reset expectations, forced recalibration, and asserted influence with precision and timing that few could anticipate. Every observer, analyst, and participant is now operating under a new paradigm, one defined by the reality of Trump's sudden, strategic, and impactful action. The long-term consequences will emerge as decisions, policies, and responses develop in the hours, days, and weeks to come. Yet even now, the overarching truth is clear. Donald Trump has demonstrated once again that in the arena of American politics, audacity, timing, and control of narrative are potent instruments of influence. The nation, the media, and the political establishment are all responding to a moment that will be remembered for its disruption, clarity, and demonstration of strategic power. As the situation continues to evolve, one fact remains unshakable: Trump has positioned himself at the center of the story, dictating both the tempo and the terms, and ensuring that the world watches, reacts, and recalibrates in response to every calculated move he makes.